I'm Sasha Elenko, co-writer and producer on the Reconnect America podcast. This is Rail Bites, where we highlight some of the gems of what we are learning from our guests on the main show. Conversations about U.S. passenger rail these days seem to be dominated by the topic of high-speed rail, and how maybe, possibly, we might just be on the cusp of having our very first true high-speed rail line. And why not? Who doesn't want to ride a 200 or 250 mile an hour train? And who can deny that China, Japan, and Western Europe are light years ahead of us with their high-speed rail systems? There's a lot of people who think that this is a national embarrassment. And maybe it is. But what if the bigger embarrassment is the 21,000-mile intercity passenger rail system we already have? From all the hype around bullet trains, it's easy to assume that this system is simply obsolete. But it just isn't. The 80, 90, 110 mile an hour top speeds that our existing trains are capable of are still a lot faster than most of us are driving in a car. And it's also not like those countries that have bullet trains don't have conventional passenger rail systems as well. In a lot of those places, an excellent conventional system is actually the foundation of the high-speed system, whose routes are far-flung and whose stations are often fewer and farther between to optimize trip times. And yet, in the US, we often seem to forget that we even have intercity passenger rail at all. Today's guest thinks that the system we have has lost its appeal, not because it is a thing of the past, but because the meaning of service has been forgotten. In a vicious cycle, conventional passenger service has deteriorated to a point where we no longer remember what it once was and what it still could be. So not only do we not ride it, but we also fail to demand a system that we would want to ride. Tom White has been working in the railroad industry for almost 60 years. He has authored multiple books on railroading, and he played a central role in designing some of the passenger rail systems that currently serve the Pacific Northwest, where he lives and continues to advocate alongside Solutionary Rail for a rail system that truly serves us all.
I see a lot of opinions about if Americans wanted passenger rail, they would be demanding it and they would get it. Well, we've been now a couple of generations deep into passenger rail means trains that are on time if they're on the right day, and the equipment might or might not work, and the service might or might not be terrible. So why would people want more of that? We still have governments who are entirely highway-centric. You look at all the effort towards all climate mitigation will just be have EVs. You'll fix it. We keep on doing what we're doing and just have EVs. Then you have the bullet train people who entice people with saying, oh, look at the people all over the world. They have these bullet trains. We need to do that. Well, a very small percentage of the people throughout the world use bullet trains. The majority of rail transportation is conventional passenger trains that look like the Amtrak Cascades. But the propaganda says if you want better service, it'll be bullet trains on a separate railroad, which will make a lot of money for people building separate railroads for bullet trains. But the fact is that we have the quandary of telling people they could have more of a product that is really terrible. And we have to fix the future by changing our example of what could be to looking at regular passenger rail in other parts of the world, to people who don't ride on the bullet trains, to see what it's like to not need a car, to be able to reliably do what you want to do when you want to do. We have so much of the big deal over getting an Amtrak. A train isn't service, it's a train. Service is being able to go conveniently and reliably to a place you want to go and come back. When you look at what was offered in the Steer Report East-West study for Stampede Pass in eastern Washington, you look at the timetable and there's virtually no day trip possible out of the example timetable they offered. I think you could go between Yakima and Ellensburg once a day, but not between Ellensburg and Yakima and back, because The idea of passenger service isn't service, it's plopping down a train. And right now, we have had for years FRA studying adding Amtrak routes. Well, they're going to add a train, and somewhere that train is going to come at 2 o'clock in the morning, even if it's on time. So we really need to create a much better picture of what could be before people are going to want it, rather than trying to convince people they want more of a bad product.
That was railroad industry veteran and author Tom White. Thank you to Oda Proda for the theme music. If you like what you heard in this Rail Bite and think more people should hear it, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. You can also support this work by pitching in and getting involved at solutionaryrail.org.